Welcome to Warrior Park for this Round 7 PS4 Victory League clash. I'm Damien Gill from FFT, bringing this one live to you from a very sunny and a nice day down here at Warrior Park on the beautiful eastern shore, the better side of the river. Somewhat biased in that respect. I've got Andrew, the Drewster Rooster, calling by my side to call this one live to you. Of course, it's Olympia FC Warriors, top of the table, up against freshly into the forward Devonport. Drewy, good afternoon.
Yes, thank you, Damien. Good to be here. And you're right, a gorgeous day here at Warrior Park. We've had some pretty cold weather of late, so we're more than happy if it wants to stay like this. But the sun is out, and we've got what should be a pretty interesting clash between these two teams. Devonport, somewhat responsible for Olympia taking top spot last week when they knocked off the Zebras. No doubt they'll be gunning for a second top of the table scalp in a row, but they'll certainly have their work cut out for them. Olympia are just starting to hit some nice form. And the big threat, as always, with Olympia is goals. 25 goals in 6 games this year. By contrast, Devonport have got 8. So that's certainly going to be something they don't really want to get involved in a shootout here with Olympia, because if it does, it's going to be hard to see them getting up. But it should be a good game. 2 top 4 sides battling out here as this Victory League season is almost through one round. But I think Olympia might just have a little bit too much about them today. However, having not seen Devonport last week, can't speak too much, but a bit of a giant kill there.
On to someone that did see Devonport last week. We've got Nick Owen in town for this big clash. Nico, lovely to have you in sunny Hobart.
Yes, it's almost as nice as Devonport, but looking forward to this clash. The bright yellow of the Devonport away strip, doesn't it look nice? I like to call them banana slugs. But who knows what might come up. Maybe someone on Twitter or Facebook could come up with a nickname for the Yellow Road Warriors in Devonport. We've got big Chook Mulroney, captain of Devonport. 2 number 8s are captains today. One change from last week, Gilly. Jack Dance goes out. Tango's got some church thingy on. I don't know, it's kicking off about now up in Devonport, and Panda Maskill comes into the lineup. I think the last time Jimmy Hordle refereed Panda, he booked him for stomping. So could be interesting. See what Jimmy's up to today. As the 2 number 8s shake hands. Alex Holmes will definitely prove a handful for the Devonport defence when he ventures forward. I don't know if they've got anyone to cover him. I'll pass you back over to the great man, Gil.
You're a big fan of Alex Holmes venturing forward. I notice that a lot. You do love a big defender strolling forward, Nico. Great to have you on board with some special comments. Very special, crispy stuff from Nick Owen from the Sunshine Coast. So, as he said, Devonport lining up in a very resplendent yellow. You won't miss them. And Olympia in a huddle currently, wearing their home white. They're in good touch. Olympia, of course, top of the table. Devonport did them a favour last week by knocking off the Zebras. And the Strikers hopefully turned a corner. They'd be hoping the people up at Valley Road look pretty good up there. And they'll be looking to replicate that up against another fearsome attacking lineup in Olympia FC Warriors. Been a real settled squad for Olympia, but they do have one pretty noticeable in, and that's Gavin Hoy, the Canadian, into the lineup. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Midweek, Glenn McNeil really put him out on show and said he's an excitement machine. So someone to watch as we have kickoff here at Warrior Park. Devonport in possession. Played around. Down the line they go, looking for Dennehy. It's cut off by Mearns and out for another throw-in. And here's Dommy Longlegs getting involved. Fresh off a Team of the Week performance. Very impressive up there against the Zebras. Throws down the line to Bo Blizzard. And it's out of play and out for a Warriors throw. Good Friday, Woolley. Down the line he goes. Gavin Hoy with his first involvement. Does well to keep it in. In the end, big Uluru Chilcott jumps in and cannons it out of play for another Warriors throw on about halfway.
So the Warriors going forward now. What can they do? It's Wadawa on the ball. He slides on in towards the box and then fires one away, but it was never going near Poor contact from Wazawa, but just found a bit of space in between the midfield and defence there. Made one of those runs that we so frequently see from Warren Wazawa. A classy player who's in good form. He's having a good season. Long goal kick and rising high there. And trying hard to keep it in, but failing. Was Mullen. Friday Willie will get them away again. Hickey put him in a little bit of trouble. They'll deal with that, and again, hacking up the line. Everything being played down this right-hand side early on as the race is on. Canadian Gavin Hoy trying to get involved. Looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table here, Hoy. As you said, McNeil speaking glowingly about him during the week, and certainly could be a key player out there today.
Drewy, we often get relatives of these international players tuning into our broadcasts. Now, if you're one of Gavin's family members, just give us a hoy. Let us know you're listening.
And yes, Damien did just take the mic off me specifically to get that pun in. That's why you're listening to us here on Slice of Cheese TV. The best in the business when it comes to puns, Damien Gill. And he's off to a strong start here. Neither side off to quite a strong a start just yet. No clear-cut chances yet. Just the one half-hearted effort from Wazawa. It's the game being played down the left for the first time this game. Early proceedings all taking part directly in front of us here in the marquee. We're well looked after here at Olympia. We don't mind doing the games over here on the superior side of the river here in the Eastern Shore, as Damien pointed out. Now, can Devonport create something here? Charging forward for the first time today. Some fancy footwork out there from Holden. He cuts it inside. And they do. Oh, there's still a chance here. Blizzard dancing around one, and then it's taken a bit of a deflection in and well taken by the keeper. And Wazawa will take down the right as Olympia try to get go. But he's forced immediately to track back to Holmes. He's put under some pressure, and they're right back to the keeper. And he'll just hack that one out of play. So some good pressure from Devonport early, forcing the errors. And they'll come forward again here. Blizzard involved in plenty early on. He launches the throw over with Darwoo's head and is just going to roll out of play for a goal kick.
So Spiros Paradises, who's currently first choice gloveman at the Warriors. Of course, Sean Lewis out with a knee injury. I think it's a PCL. Keeping him out of the side for some time. They're hopeful he'll be back for their encounter with South Hobart in a couple of weeks. But Spiros Paradises taking his chance with both hands early in this one. Comes to Mearns in midfield. He squeezes a ball out looking for Wadawu. Tom Pearce on the edge of his box picks this one up. And Nico, I wouldn't mind a quick note on Tom Pearce. I've watched from afar as the ball's played down the wing and just eludes Brodie Dennehy and it's out. As I was saying, Tom Pearce, I've watched from afar and he looks to really be growing into that number one goalkeeper spot. Some really great saves, saving Devonport in recent weeks.
Yeah, as they attack through Hoy here to looks to the back post to Isles, and Isles has slipped it under Pearce for the opening goal for Olympia Warriors. Very much so put the mockers on. It was a lovely bit of play by Olympia Warriors. Sakiris picked up the ball, Wadawu picked up the ball, sorry. The cross came past Sakiris to Luke Isles at the back post, and he's made no mistake. He's a classy player. There it is as it goes in under Pearce. Very impressed with Luke Isles this year. If he's not favourite for the best first year player, whatever that award is called, I cannot remember, but the rising star, if he doesn't win it, there's something wrong.
I think you'd close the market on it at this stage. I think he's definitely got a stranglehold over that one. He might just be a sniff for the real deal. The Mitsubishi Motors best and fairest, such as his performances, and Mulroney clatters into his opponent in Mearns, and that's another one who's had a really strong start to the season, Nick Mearns. I think each year of the Victory League he's just improved that little bit, and he's taken it by storm early days, and he's leading the Walter Pless Media Award and by about 4 votes. So I think he'd be in the frame for the Mitsubishi medal too, but that's the key to the Warriors' success. A couple of real improvers as the ball just streams by the leg of Dommy Longlegs. He can't get that long leg around it. Just slips through him. Throwing now for Good Friday, Woolley. edge of the box. It's brought down by Hoy, who's had some nice touches early on here. Drops it off for Mearns. He loses it. It's picked up by Dennehy. Looks inside and then just rolls the ball down the line for his skipper. Mulroney loses it. 1-2 between Vandermeer and Woolley. Vandermeer keeps it alive from the byline. It's a quick-fired shot from Sekiris that Pearce does well to save, and it's out for a corner. So we'll see this one again. Vandermeer in uncharted waters there. His opposite box. Dropped it off nicely for Sekiris, but Pearce showing his quality. And I did put the mockers on him before, but he's been quite impressive in recent games as Mearns takes this corner. He'll loft it into the back post. It's off Holmes' head. And over the bar and out of play. That would have got you excited, Nico. I think it's Holmes, or it might have been Big Vandermeer. Big Vandermeer. Either way, you love a defender streaming forward and having a dip. Pearce will bring this one back into play.
So Olympia having the best of the opening exchanges here. And new import Hoy with the assist on the goal. Talk about making an immediate impact. It took him all of 5 minutes to leave his mark on the victory league. So Glenn McNeil might just be onto a winner there. Again, we'll see the pressure from Devonport's forwards really pressing, and they're forced to turn over here. This is good work. Holden with the ball, laid it off. Still going. Blizzard, busy early, but they've lost it in Olympia. They're quick on the counter. Here they go with Dawu. The searing pace of this Olympia counter. He slid it across for Olds. He'll get there just in time. Bit of sting taken out of the attack, but he dances around one and crosses. It's dealt with in the end by the Devonport defence. They're feeling the pressure early on, and a long-range effort is going well wide the whole time. But we've seen all season Olympia. They can just flick the switch and there'll be one end of the park to the other in a matter of seconds. They're a very fast counter-attacking side. With Dawu, Isles, Sekiris, they've certainly got some pace up there in that front three. Devonport looking to get a foothold in this game. It's all one-way traffic here at the moment. And they'll just pass it around the back and try and get a bit of possession. They're going to run into trouble here. Here's Hoyt. And working both ways is the import. So how do you think Devonport can get back into this game? Not really seeing a lot of ball at the moment. What's the keys for them?
Yeah, no, it's definitely get in behind the defence. There's no playing through to the defence on this ground. It's a pretty tough ask, especially with Olympia being the home team. Michael Holden, get the ball to his feet, get the ball to Bo Blizzard's feet and get them to move it early. I reckon that's the key. They've held on to it a bit too much early on as Panda Maskill takes the throw-in. And they've got another throw-in. Yeah, they can definitely get back into it. It's just a matter of that confidence. If each attacker just tries to take them on themselves and continuously lose the ball, it's going to be a long day for Devonport as they come forward through Michael Holden. Holden through to Blizzard in the midfield. Dennehy, one-on-one, looks to pass it instead. Looks to pick out Adam Gorry, but one-man gang in goals, big Paradisus. He was out well off his line then and gives it to Holmes. Nice little bit of play there by Olympia to work it out of defence. Hoy looks to play a through ball, but it's well cut out by Sison.
Nico, what's the story with Brodie Dennehy? Of course, a few weeks back where Devonport put on a real fighting display against South Hobart. As it comes to Hoy at the edge of the box, this might spell danger for Devonport. They do enough. Or do they? It comes to Isles. He's inside the box. Squares it up. It falls for Dawu. In the end, it's just cleared. Devonport might be out of danger here. They're with Dennehy. He kicks it into Woolley and receives back. Gets around one. Then they win it back through Sison. He finds Mulroney. Puts it into the bullseye and calls from the run. Gorry puts it out in front of his winger and it's collected at the edge of his box by Paradisus. Yeah. Brodie Dennehy, he's a player that intrigues me. Had a really good sort of first season in the Victory League and then probably didn't take the strides many were hoping he would. And then he went back to full back for a bit and looked pretty sharp, but today he seems to be operating on a wing.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of they looked to Daniel Sison to play up front, but that didn't really work out as Dennehy tries to control it. The ball gets cleared away by Vandermeer. Yeah, I think our defence is looking pretty good with big Dommy Longlegs coming in there at left back. Panda Maskill's out at right back today, but we've had Jack Dance there in the past, and it just turns out that we needed someone on the left wing more than we needed a defender as Hoy streams through, looks to play Wadawu, who looked offside, but it's not offside. Sakiris fires goalward and Pearce saves well with his feet, and Maskill clears. All crunching by Mearns. Didn't look too much in it. It was a nice strong challenge, but Jimmy Hordles found a free kick there. Yeah, so it's just a matter of not having, those. We've got a lot of numbers, defensive numbers. We just don't have the sort of winging type players. So he's been stuck back up front by the looks of it. As Maskill looks to take free, hasn't got a lot of options. It's going to go long to Chook Mulroney. Wins the header. Pumped up in the air. Back to Chook Mulroney's head. Bit of ping pong here at the moment. And Vandermeer takes control and passes it to Wadawu, who looks for the big diagonal ball to Isles, but it just clearly not finding its mark.
With Pearce, he plays short for big Chilcott. Takes a couple of touches, steadies, and then squirts a rather ordinary ball out of play, out in front of Dennehy and out for a Warriors throw. Beautiful day here at Warrior Park. The weather has been turned on for this encounter as Gavin Hoy gets involved, dinks one over the top, and it means Maskill has to come across at the edge of the box and cut it off for the Strikers. There'll be another Warriors throw in. They've certainly started the stronger of the two sides, and Devonport struggling to get it out of their defence with any conviction, and that's something we saw from Kingborough when they came across to play the Warriors on Warrior Park. As a long throw comes into a crowded box, a bit of hustle and bustle, and in the end it will be a Devonport free kick with Sakiris, the likely offender from close range. We saw Kingborough really struggle to get it out their defensive third. Not as bad today, Devonport, but it's definitely obvious that Olympia have practiced a game that works well on this Warrior Park pitch. Of course, it's a smaller pitch. You can really close them in, and they're trying that hard press and make it pretty tough work to get it out of there.
Yeah, certainly can, especially with the speed of the front three. As Devonport coming forward here, Holden won the ball for his team. The first real look here. Can they give Olympia something to think about? Dealt with well enough here, but it's going to come straight back at him, trying the shot with Syson, but that was blocked, and back the other way will come Olympia. They're charging down the left flank. Here's the dangerous Isles. What can he do? He slides one through for Sakiris, but just a bit too much on it. We'll go harmlessly through to Pearce in goals. He started well. A couple of smart saves from him. As Devonport pass the ball around, looking to get forward. And just deflects out of play, and they'll get the throw in their way in front of the Olympia change rooms with the faithful gathered there. Top of the table, Olympia Warriors. Certainly a very popular pre-season pick after a great pre-season cup. But they've been dogged in previous seasons, trying to transition that form into the regular season. This year, they're doing it quite well, but we're only a third of the way through the season. As Devonport might get a break here through Holden. What can he do? He charges into the box, he cuts it back, and in the end, Mulroney never really looked like scoring. His body position was all wrong for that hit. Probably need to just take the ball and try and work another option, but been under pressure early in this one. They haven't had long to think. Whenever they've had the ball, they've been pressured, and that kind of pressure does force errors like that. There you go. He donning the hat this week, which is probably a good decision with the sun shining as brightly as it is. So a little bit of that the last couple of weeks. Certainly in the first month of the tournament, there wasn't much need for hats, but here they come now. Olympia charging forward with Dawu. He bursts into the box, but his touch was too heavy. And in the end, it is well taken by Pearce, and launched down the left of the Strikers. 6.5 charging forward. Oh, a lovely bit of skill there from Donaghy, but didn't bounce or anything. Blizzard works back hard, plays a soft little pass, which is turned over. Devonport should get the ball in their back half here.
Deep in Devonport's half, Sison picks the ball up and loops it long. A bit disappointing with Kieran Mulroney's effort just a minute ago. The FIFA wraparounds never work in real life. He thought they might do. As Adam Gorry charges down, the one-man gang looks to pick out Holmes. It's made it difficult for him, but Holmes has dealt with it well enough, at least to take out any dangers. The ball comes off Turtle Holden for a throw into Olympia. I don't mind Panda Maskill at right back. He doesn't mind getting forward from that position. Centre back makes it a little bit hard to get forward, but he's got that attacking option. As big Chook Mulroney tries to flick it on to Michael Holden. Yeah, we call him Chook because he's all his weight's in the top half and his legs are little sticks. So I feel like Chook seems an appropriate name for him. He seems to think he's got calves, but yet to see them. Looks like we're might have a repeat of the Clarence versus Olympia Cup game where there was a throw in every 3 seconds. Hopefully not. Gorry to Sison, back to Maskill, getting themselves in a bit of a hole here. They're going to have to go back to Pearce to get themselves out of it. Pearce with the long ball. Back to your comment before, Gilly, about what Tom Pearce is all about. He's improving with every game. He seems to be... his footwork's massively improved, and the sort of the first game yips is Hoy picks it up and looks for Wateroo, can't find him. His confidence has certainly grown, and he very much looks suited to this level of football. As Banfield pumps it long, cut out by Vandermeer. Hickey in the midfield passes to Holmes, finds Hoy. Nice ball by Hoy. Finds Woolley down in the bottom corner. He's tried to go past Dennehy. He has done so, but he can't get past Tommy Longlegs. He's another man that certainly looks up to this class of football. Dennehy gives the ball away to Hoy. He does it, gets a foot in. Woolley drives one goalwards, but it hits the big Uluru. Wateroo lets the ball run out, and Dennehy didn't touch it, and it's a throw in to Smith.
Smith down the line, off the chest with Dowie, controls well. In for Hoy, receives back and finds the outlet in Woolley, who gives it up, but Vandermeer does well to wrestle possession for an instant. In the end, Chilcott does enough to see it out off the leg of Vandermeer. And out for a defensive throw in for the Devonport Strikers. We're into the 20th minute here. Decent start from the Warriors, you got to say, the top of the table team. Certainly looking like it in this one as Hoy gets involved. I've loved his work, the Canadian. He's tried to hustle and bustle into the middle. He's met well in the end by Gorry, and the ball's out on the left-hand side looking for Dennehy. It's just overshot and streams out of play. Another throw in. Woolley down the line. Back heel from Hoy. It was pretty flamboyant, but it didn't pay off for the Canadian, and it comes to Gorry, who unleashes a long rocket, finds Holden. He puts it in the middle. It's a tantalising back post ball, but just eludes the run of Dennehy, who just agonisingly came late and tried to track it down. But we'll see this one again as Holden just put it to the back post, and he was just that bit too late. A step or two behind, and that easily could have been 1-1.
And probably should have been, truthfully, Damien. That was as good a chance as they've had. They've not really had a lot, but just overhitting that cross, if he puts that up to a more central area, Striker's got a tap in, so they might be ruling that one, Devonport. It broke for them. Worried about the copper ball on the head, I think. No, just avoids the marker here. But yeah, a really good moment of attack that was for Devonport. And they're certainly going to need to take chances like that because Olympia have looked the stronger side so far as Wadawu just went for the fancy pass. We've got one criticism of Olympia so far in this one. Just trying to be a little bit too fancy. Just trying to go for the millionaire goal. Maybe when you've got the likes of Hoy and Ives and Wadawu out there, it's no surprise they're trying the tricky stuff. The goal came very much from the basics though, as Devonport will now look to push forward. They can do so. They'll just launch it long again, and there's absolutely no one there, so I'm not entirely sure who that pass was for. And Mulroney saying pass it short. Would have been a better option. May very composed at the back. He slides it across to Shea Hickey, back to Holmes. But he's turned it over here. Some good tracking back from Holden. I've liked what I've seen from him. Out on the right, Holden. He's been busy early. Certainly running his socks off. Battle for the ball out on the wing. Mearns went down and he wins the free kick for Olympia. Sitting a little bit deeper so far on this one, Nick Mearns. Haven't really seen him get in the advanced positions yet. We know he's so good when he does get in there.
I was going to remark, I reckon Mearns has been pretty quiet in comparison to recent weeks. Don't know whether Devonport are doing anything in particular just to negate him, or whether it's just the fact that Gavin Hoy's obviously in those advanced positions and making the most of his attacking flair. And it's that man Hoy on the ball now. He drops it off for Mearns. Mearns gets by a couple that's still with him. With Pearce up to the task to collect on his 6-yard box. He'll pump this one forward, one would suspect. Decent boot on him. Down the flank it goes. Holden does well to keep it in. He's got a few to navigate out there. He gets by one. He takes the shot. It's saved well by Paradisus and then propelled out of defence by Holmes. It's back to Sison. In midfield, a bit of tricky footwork, but he meets his match in Hoy. Hoy's bundled into by Blizzard. Blizzard puts it on for Mulroney. He has a shot. It's saved well by Paradisus. And it's out for a corner. Devonport lifting here at Warrior Park.
Yeah, some good chances there. Some good keeping there from Paradisus. He had to be sharp, but this is better from Devonport. Starting to offer an attacking threat now. They're a bit subdued early on, but starting to show down that right-hand side in particular. Really liking Holden's work there. He's causing them a few headaches, and they take the corner short, and they turn it over, Damien. Look what happens when you take the short corner. Olympia, not a lot better on the rebound. And that's just belted well out of play there. Some improvement here, Nico, in the last few minutes from Devonport?
Yeah, it looks likely. I would have liked Turtle to take that shot on himself rather than that cross. Brody was a long way away from the action, and it's a nice team thing to do, but it didn't come off. And you're right with the short corners. They're pretty much, I don't know why they do them. Having said that, if you're just going to pump it in long to Holmes and Vandy May with no real tall timber, then I suppose you've got to try something different, and that really wasn't it. As Holden skips past the Olympia defender. Mann's just got him under control though. Pandamascule in an advanced position, about to take the throw in. Throws it to Gorry. Gorry's due for a yellow card. So I won't be surprised if he gets one in the first half. As Sekiris works Banfield under the ball, but it's cleared up by Uluru. And when Uluru clears the ball, it stays cleared.
So Olympia with a powerful throw from Holmes. Pumps it up, looking for the Canadian, who's been involved in plenty early on. This one takes a strange deflection, bounces kindly. Woolley did really well there, and he worked it to Wadawu. It's cut out in the end. Some good work from Woolley. This ball thumps into our marquee down here on the wing, and it'll be a throw for Devonport. They'll get direct again. Vandermeer and Holmes are there to deal with that though. They're probably not going to have a lot of luck trying the aerial balls down the guts today. A big strong pair in there. And here come the strikers down the right again. Holden crossing it in. It's a teasing ball, but again, Paradisus is there. He's looked solid early on, doing everything required of him. And he'll kick that one along. He might come back with some interest. That was an audacious effort, to say the least, from Gorry, and absolutely nowhere near.
Tell you what, Paradisus filling those gloves pretty well today. Two really top-notch saves to keep it at 1-0. Doing all that's asked of him back there, that's for sure. Which is what you want from your number 2, especially when the number 1, the American Sean Lewis, is out injured. It's very handy to have someone that just takes to it with aplomb. It's smashed long by Paradisus, a good clearing ball. In the end, it's picked up by Gorry. He tries to replicate the Gloveman's work for Devonport, and it's offside against, I think it was Mulroney there, and it'll be a free kick for Olympia in their defensive third. Is pumped forward off the head of, there's a Kung Fu Panda back there. Down the line it goes, looking for Turtle Holding. It's picked up by Gorry. Tries to squeeze the ball through a sea of Warrior legs. In the end, they win it out through Hickey. He's done well there. A strong challenge. Finds Hoy. He gets by one in Chilcott. He'll steady for a shot. He's just about sent it onto the highway. Everything but the finish there from Gavin Hoy, but definitely looks to have added more teeth to an already dangerous Warriors attacking force.
And of course, taking, I didn't name Gustafson's position there, and he's on the bench today. He's made his way back into this Olympia team. A bit of a short little sojourn away from him. He's out there, so they'll probably have him coming off the bench and running at tight legs. That could spell danger. Good depth Olympia is suddenly built up here under Glenn McNeil. Is going to the deck there and expecting a free kick, but not getting one was Maskell. Udawu will take it away from Olympia down the right. He feeds it into Mearns. He looks to feed it through. Some nice work from Sakiris, and how's that for a slick finish? A classy piece of finishing there from the number 9. He took a touch and just volleyed it home. Beautiful work there as we wait for the replay. It's 2-0 Olympia, and really it's come in Devonport's best spell of the game, you'd have to say. They're just starting to look likely, but Udawu heavily involved, fed it through to Mearns. It's a great ball, but failed to deal with it. A beautiful volley finish. Who was that? He just failed to deal with it there. Banfield? Yeah, Banfield. He's tried to clear it. He's just put it straight up. Lovely finish, though, from Sakiris. 2-0 Olympia.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't dealt with by Banfield, and I've seen Sakiris have some bad days in front of goal, but that was certainly a clinical finish by the number 9. As Takatsu, I think it is, plays the ball forward to no one. We'll get his name right one day. But yeah, certainly Manns looked like a good pass. Banfield had the chance to deal with it but didn't. And Sakiris finishes well. As Manns plays a long ball forward, comes off the head of Smith. Then he comes out to keep the ball in. He's got plenty of time here, just needs to find feet. Doesn't. Well, he did. He found Manns' feet. Hickey's picked the ball up. And Luke Isles just skips past Maskell pretty easily. Plays it out to Waterwoo, who looks to deliver. Decides better of it and comes back. Manns picks up the ball. Nice little build-up. There wasn't too much on. They've kept possession. Hickey to Hoy. Back to Hickey. To Holmes, who finds himself in a left-back sort of position at the moment. To Isles. Does well to control it. It was just a little outstretched foot. And coughs it up. There a chance here, Devonport. Gorry tries to deliver, but Dennehy probably needed to peel a bit wider, and the ball needed to come a bit wider as well. As the big one-man gang goals easy, collects it, passes it to Holmes. Back to Paradisus. Nice story, Paradisus has worked his way into the team. Woolley over the top to Waterwoo, who can only get it as far as Sison. Dom Smith picks up the ball. Bo Blizzard's made a nice run, but he's not going to get on the end of that, and it's gone out for a throw-in.
I think the silk of Olympia is just showing here in this first half. With 31 minutes gone, they're 2-0 up, and it's been a pretty professional display thus far. Been very clean in possession, and just got some players that make a defender's life very, very difficult, as we saw in that second goal with Sakiris just making the most of maybe a little mishap at the back from Banfield. It's Sakiris on the ball now, looks inboard, dinks out on the right looking for Wadawu. It comes off Smith and it's back for Sakiris. They tackle for the ball at the edge of the box. It's Wadawu who picks up from the ball line, looks to square it up, looking for the run of Isles. It's seen cleared by Devonport. It's with Sison in his defensive third, and he goes to clear, and Mearns comes across to cut it off and keep it in that defensive third, and they'll just look to smother them here, Olympia, and try and get a third by the end of the half. Devonport, as I was saying a little earlier, not exactly finding it easy out of that defensive third, or defensive half in general, really. We've got a little loss for ideas. Pearce on this one, pumps long and strong, almost beyond the bullseye. It's won by Hickey, despite being the shortest of the three contesting. Comes to Mearns. He puts a nice ball out in front of Sakiris. Pearce comes out to close it down. Does enough to see Sakiris spill it out. And it must have taken a nick off a Devonport leg there, because it'll be a Warriors throw. Deep. Right next to the corner flag. It's Woolley on it. He looks to throw long into the box. It comes to Sakiris. This time he can't provide a miraculous volley, and it loops up and is easily caught by Pearce. On the right boot, drives it forward. It's won by Mearns to Hickey, who heads forward. Just eludes Hoy. In the end, Mearns might just steady the ship, turns with it. Finds Hickey, but it's a little overshot for him, so he can only get a toe on it. Woolley there to provide support. Nice bit of trickery from Hickey. Picks out Hoy. He tries to thread the needle. It's come off Chilcott and back to him. Mearns rattles off across. Comes out wide to the right, and Woolley looks to put a lofted ball over to the back post. Pearce out. Nudges it clear with a fist. And it's Gorry on it now. Can Devonport counter? Holmes comes across to cut off a ball meant for Holden. It's picked up by Isles now. Very slick stuff. Finds Woolley. Woolley puts it into Sison. And Banfield looks to clear, but can only find Hickey, who's been involved in a heap for the Warriors. Been the real linchpin in that midfield, as he has been since crossing from Glenorchy Knights last season. Back to Paradisus. He finds Takatsu. Comes forward. Dropped off from Hickey to Hoy. Very slick. Navigates traffic and finds Hickey once more. Driven forward. One in the air by Devonport, and down the right-hand side they go. Looking for Holden. He's got Takatsu for company, and in the end Takatsu wins up with some good body pressure.
So Takatsu launches it long. Flicked on by Mearns. Looking for Isles. Putting a foot in there as the fullback. Now it might just fall here for Mulroney. Vandermeer was there to deal with him though, and he'll get this one as well and just thump it clear and come back. No, poor touch, and good Friday, Woolley. Just shows him a clean pair of heels. The fullback, he's still going. A good run this. He surges now into the box. Can he pick someone out? He's caught by the defence. He tried again. Took two to beat him. He's still going, and he might have given away a foul there, I think. Yeah, eventually it's called. That seemed pretty obvious. Lunging in awkwardly. Nothing malicious, but certainly a foul. So we have a look at the replay here. And storming run from Woolley. Very well defended. It does get the ball, gets a bit of the man too. Fair decision making a foul, but I think well done the ref, keeping the cards in the pocket in that instance.
Just a quick update for those interested on the action going on over at Lightwood Park. It's 1-1 now. Early goal from Kingborough, and in the 68th minute, Shoulder Anderson has equalised for the Northern Rangers on the road. A fair few fouls for the Northerners, 13-4 down there at the Den. So going in hard, the Rangers. But strangely, no slices of cheese or a red, so interesting proceedings. Looks like these Both teams sort of in a huddle here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It looks like Chilcott might be in a bit of discomfort. His arms in a bit of strife. Bit of a stinger he'd be hoping. Play looks likely to get back underway. If Chilcott was to go off, Nico, who's the likely replacement?
It'd be definitely Zach Mitchell. He's the only one warming up. So I'm guessing it would be him. I reckon Panda Maskill might go back into the centre and he'd just slot in at right back, which would be no real loss for the strikers other than they've had to use a sub pretty early as the game's about to restart. Pearce knocks it forward. Neither Chook nor Holmes can get the head to it, and Vandermeer might find Sekiris here, and he has, and he's got an open goal. Surely he'll score. No, Uluru! The big rock in front of goal has denied the 3-goal lead.
Hey, back from the dead, the big Uluru. He's just come here, and it's 1-on-1, no keeper in sight. He's just coming to the frame now. Sekiris could have almost walked it over, and Big Rowe comes across. Blocks it well with the legs. Very nice bit of work there from Brad Chilcott, but one must say that should have been a goal for Olympia. You can't botch those ones up. It's 2-0 luckily for Sekiris. Lucky he had a very nice finish before, but this is what we tend to see from Sekiris as Maskell chops down Gavin Hoy, and it'll be a free kick for the Warriors in their own half. Mearns feeds Isles out on the left-hand side. He's got Gorry for company. Looks inside, opts to try and take on Gorry, cuts it back, and it's cleared in the end by Chilcott. Helped further by Maskill. Hickey gets round Holden, delivers into the box, it spills out. Udawu tracks it down. He's got Dennehy chasing, and in the end it's a nothing ball that bounces well wide. And Pearce will have a goal kick, but yeah, funny moment there, it's fair to say. One that Sekiris would rather have again. And we got another update from down at the Den. 2-1 to the Rangers. Kenta Yamane scoring in the 70th minute. So the Rangers up and about down at the Den. Braden Mann's just tweeted in. Wow, sitter. Thanks for your expert analysis. But you're probably pretty right. It's yeah, that's a shocker from Sekiris. It's as simple as that.
Talk about the goalkeepers union. Apparently there's no strikers union there. Just letting him know about that one. But nah, fair play there. It was one of Esteberry, and typical of Manny really. He scores the difficult volley and misses that one. He's a mystery at times, Sekiris, but he's also a very effective footballer. But he really should have been 3-0. But couldn't get past the big rock there, Big LaRue. Just planting himself down. So can Olympia find a third that might just kill this contest off before the half? Or will it be Devonport to find a way back into this one? Big last 5 minutes coming up here before the half. Holmes pulled a long way, and his passing left a bit to be desired, and it's going straight back the other way. Donny unable to control that one. Very long throw, and running onto it was the Canadian. Couldn't quite get to it. He's been good, the import. Certainly rocking a very flashy lid. It just says, look at me. I stand out, and his play's shown it too. His end product hasn't always been there, although a lovely assist for the first goal, but his ball control and first touch really do stand out whenever he's on the ball. Here's Nick Mearns. To feed through Wadawu, sprints onto that, he's just going to get it, and he cuts it back. Devonport should be able to deal with it, but here's the Canadian again. Quick feet, and that's a brilliant pass, and speaking of sitters, it doesn't matter because he gets a second chance. Sekiris, he missed the first one, but he really should have just buried it. It didn't matter, he got a second bite at it. And he didn't miss then. 3-0 Olympia, this one could already be over. This was all about the Canadian, though. Look at that fancy footwork. It's Sekiris with a horrible effort off the post and went straight back to him, so somewhat fortuitous there 3-0, long way back now for Devonport, Damien.
Yeah, that's just about all she wrote, I think, and we're only inside the first half. But Sakiris with a nice little 1-2 with the left upright there. If he had missed that one as well, geez, I'd just about drag him. They're two absolute horrors. But in the end, the post his friend, and certainly Gavin Hoy his friend. What service. Just weaved his way through a couple there in a congested box and then just put it on the back post. And there wasn't a lot I thought Sakiris could do to miss that. He almost did it, but in the end he has the end product, and it's 3-0 Olympia FC Warriors in the 42nd as the long ball comes through to Denny. Maybe they can snatch one back. Drops it off for Holden. He rattles it into the side netting, but it didn't matter. It was all in vain as the offside flag is raised. But I tell you what, if it wasn't, you would be spraying Holden as a Devonport fan. He cracks that one into the side netting, and Olympia escape. Vandermeer over the rock here as almost verges into the bullseye. Drives long and left. Looking for Mearns. It's contested by Devonport through Maskell. He finds Banfield. Down the line it goes. Holden nips in, gets a ball into the centre. It's Gorry on it now. Sweeps a ball. Comes to Dennehy. Oh no, and he's just put it across the face of goal. It's swept just by the left upright as we'll watch this one again. Gorry, it was almost dealt with, picked up by Dennehy, one-on-one with the keeper all at sea, should have tucked it home into the bottom left, and it streams by that post. And Devonport really should have pegged one back there, and it would have given him a bit of hope entering the sheds at half-time.
Yeah, you got to bury that one, especially with the limited chances they've had. It's outside the area, but just for the keeper to beat, well off his line. Either side of him would have done. Really, another moment here in attack as Isles was going forward, but spills through to the keeper. Thump it long. Can Devonport find something? They've battled hard, but Olympia have just had that cutting edge in the final third. They had the quality to bring them undone. Dennehy playing an inboard, and something from Mulroney can get him. And Vandermeer able to just dwell on it. Go back to his keeper, who made what will prove to be a couple of telling saves early in this one. Brought it back there to 1-1, but so often is the case. It's how you finish. Olympia, aside from that one bad miss from Sakiris, have taken their chances well. And Devonport in the game where they've been outplayed, you've got to take your chances, and they just haven't, unfortunately. And that's why we're at 3-0. Liz unable to get to that one. Well cleared. And they might be able to counter again here. Hoy again. He's been dominant out there, and this man Wadawa has been outstanding as well down the right. And he's found it through here to Nick Mearns, who's on his left, and good challenge again. Well defended. He stayed down, but stopped the dangerous Mearns right in his tracks, and there's a player down, so I'd be surprised if the ref allows this to keep going, and indeed he finally does bring it all the way back here. It was a defensive effort, but he's come off worse for wear. He's Gorry, the man down there. He saved the day, but has copped a whack for his efforts, unfortunately.
Got a tweet in again from Braden Mann. Love your work, probably almost as you love your own work. What does Nico think about Mulroney going to centre-back? He was a state team squad member as a centre-back. Would like to see Sison up top. Not a bad import from Braden Mann there.
Yes, well, Chook up front hasn't really done much at this stage, so if you were looking for some improvement, you wouldn't mind seeing it out of whoever's playing in the 9 role, who's Kieran at the moment, and Dennehy. I thought he was going to redeem himself with the 1-on-1, but fired wide. He might have got a bobble, but I doubt it on this pitch. Yeah, no, it's an option. It's definitely an option. Sison hasn't really had his goal-scoring boots on at all this year, so it'd be worth a go, like 3-0 down, what he got to lose. But definitely needs something out of the Turtles. Probably the only bloke who's looked dangerous for Devonport really in the front three. as Gorry, he's up and he's hobbling off to the sideline. He did cop a knot like that during the week at training, so it might just be a re-aggravation of whatever that was as he hobbles off. He'll probably battle on though. Might be a sympathy injury. One Ginge went down with an injury, so the other one goes down. They've got to stick by each other. It's double Ginge rule. It's Devonport. One goes down, they both go down. Gil?
Love it. They say, twins have connection. You're saying essentially gingers have connection that, feel each other's pain. I'm not sure that's exactly what went on there, but Gorry's a key cog in this Devonport lineup. They'll need him out there if there's any chance. If there are a snowball's chance in hell of getting back into this one, they need him out there. As Takatsu comes over to throw this one in. Not a heap of involvement from Takatsu, just done his job really up against the dangerous Holden. It comes across for Hoy. He tries one on the outside of his right boot. Pierce up to the task again at his near post. Tips it wide and out for a corner. Olympia just looming large and making this pretty fearsome scoreline. And tell you what, if they back up the thumping they gave Kingborough over here at Warrior Park with another absolute thumping of Devonport, people won't want to cross the river. It'll be a pretty fearsome little trip, albeit short for the other Hobartians, but still, the game looks pretty strong over here on their home deck. Whipped in, it's a shocker. It's blocked by Blizzard and back now for Isles. He powers across, it goes over the head of Banfield, picked up by Wadawu. He slips inside of Banfield, puts it across. It's almost a delightful effort from Alex Holmes. He turns with a head and very nearly I thought was going to slip into the bottom left, but it goes wide. We'll watch this one again. Wadawu with a bit of candy, takes him to the candy shop, drops it off. Holmesy, very good effort, especially from a tall man to get down low and just turn it with his head. Bit of finesse in that from the big fella, but it's out for a goal kick. And Pierce drives along off his captain's head and out for a throw-in. I do like Braden's call. I think change needs to happen for this Devonport lineup. No point just going through the motions with the exact same lineup. Maybe try and learn a few things about a few of these people, especially if there are a couple of injuries. I think Dennehy looked good at fullback. Maybe try him back there and get someone else involved up top because he hasn't made the most of his opportunities. As Hordle blows his whistle and just brings it back for a foul on Gorry, who looks to have picked up the pieces from that injury. Looks okay now as Maskell plays a free kick straight into Isles. Blizzard picks it up, finds Maskell. He's clipped as he goes to play it round Hickey. And it's a free kick for the Devonport import, the man they call Kung Fu Panda.
Deep into the first half, you're about to tick into 49 minutes. Last chance perhaps for Devonport, and it's not going to come to anything really. It's the flicked on header, slides over the line. That might just about be it. 49 minutes. Referee Hordle still letting them play here. We've had a couple of injuries, plenty of goals. Thumps it wide. Good Friday Woolley flicking it on there. They've gone down this right-hand side a lot today, Olympia. Wadawu has been particularly influential. Been involved in a lot, and he's tough coming together there with Chilcott, and that will be the end of the first 45. An entertaining 45 minutes here at Warrior Park. And it's 3-0 to the hosts. They've played clinical football at times. The front three has really given plenty of headaches for Devonport, who just haven't been able to get a foothold in this game. They've lost the midfield battle. They've had their moments in attack. They've just not offered enough. They haven't taken the chances that have presented themselves. Olympia at the other end have just had a bit too much for them to deal with. 3-0 deficit at the half. It's going to be a long way back, and you just get the feeling this one might already be settled, Damien.
3 goals and 3 points, I think, for Olympia. I find it very hard to believe Devonport can claw their way back into this one. It's an even try and get a point. They've got a bit of work to do to get into the ball game, to be honest. Too easy for Olympia in that half. I think Devonport made it bit too easy for them. Although you credit where it's due, Olympia have been slick. They've been sharp in possession. Very, very few errors. Generally, I'd say their passing percentage is pretty high. They seem to be finding feet nicely, and their defenders are actually getting forward to cause a bit of trouble, especially out wide. I think Woolly's had a good half. Their midfield's been strong and dynamic. I think Hoy, we've only seen a few glimpses so far, but the glimpses we've seen have been very, very, very sharp. I think he's shown enough to see that he'll be a marked man in weeks to come. I think he's probably been just about the best player on the pitch thus far. Moon's probably quiet initially, but he's worked into it. I thought Shea Hickey's just done what Shea Hickey does. Very, very solid in the middle of the park. That linchpin for the Warriors. And up top, they've been a bit hit and miss. Sakiris obviously hasn't had the best day, but he's still got a couple of goals to his name, so you can't fault him for that. Luke Isles, not a heap of traffic down his left-hand side, I've got to say, but he's also looked pretty flashy in glimpses. And, yeah, it's all coming up pretty rosy for the boys from Warrior Park. They're looking very, very fearsome, Drewster. How do you see Devonport?
Devonport have shown flashes. Certainly, I think Holden's clearly been their best player. He's been the real attacking threat they've had down the right-hand side. They've had good moments through him, but just not enough. Their chances have come on fast breaks where they've outnumbered the Olympia defenders. When Olympia have had numbers back, they've given them very little that's troubled them. Their moments have come when they've just been caught up the ground, Olympia. And the pace has caught them out on a couple of occasions, but they were unable to capitalise. They've really only had a couple of moments. So if there were going to be any chance in this game, they had to take one of those chances. They haven't. And at the other end, it's been Wadawu down the right, linking up with Hoy centrally. They've been getting the ball for the midfield too, but they've just been too much to handle for the defenders. And one-on-one, they're difficult propositions, particularly the new import, the Canadian Hoy. He's looked very slick out there and watching him very closely. And that third goal, just unbelievably fast feet from him. Wadawu down the right has been creating chance after chance, and it's just been a weight of numbers, really. There's too much pressure on this back four for Olympia. They need to start getting a bit more of the ball to ease that burden, but until they do that, it's hard to see them getting the goals in this game they need, because the best chances have come on the counter-attack. With a 3-0 lead, there is no real need for Olympia to push on and commit more bodies forward.
You're 100% correct, Drewster, and I think for Devonport, they've looked a little toothless. I think realistically, there's an over-reliance on Michael Holden out there. He's the outlet every time, and Olympia know it. They're piling the numbers out that side, and the midfielders are getting back to guard the space in which Holden's going to be running into. So they've made it tough work for Michael Holden, and he's a quality player, and he's still had flashes in there because he is such a quality player, but there's an over-reliance on him, and the other two in that front three probably haven't delivered what they need from them. And I agree with what Braden Mann said on Twitter. I think Mulroney has to go back into defence, and they've got to try something new in the second half to try and just resurrect something from this contest. It might not be a point, it might not be 3 points, it might be just a goal or two, and just continue on the gradual improvement that Devonport have shown in recent weeks. And as you can see, some highlights from the first half. This was probably well, actually, that one was offside. There was another chance for Devonport that they probably should have buried. This might be it. Dennehy really should have done better with that opportunity at the edge of the box. Making the right runs, Dennehy, but yeah, the final product hasn't been there. And I think Bobby Eves would be asking more from him in the second half, up against, as we've said, a very fearsome Olympia FC Warriors outfit. We'll be back with the second half here from a very sunny Warrior Park, and it's all very, very sunny for the Warriors at this point in time. They lead 3-0. Hope you're enjoying the call. Come back with the second half in not too long. Stay with us. Back at Warrior Park for this second half. It's been a tough clash so far for Devonport Strikers down the highway. And so far they're 3-0 down against Olympia FC Warriors. They've pretty much made all the running in this encounter. They're on top of the table and they've looked like a top of the table team so far. One thing that I've really been struck by is their consistency across the park. Just a lot of contributors out there. No real passengers in the Olympia lineup. And that's something pretty positive for Glenn McNeil moving forward, especially the performance they've put out here on Warrior Park. It looks like it might be a bit of a stronghold for them as the season progresses. We've got a second half coming, and Devonport have a lot to do, Drewster. What can they do to try and get anywhere near this contest?
They're going to start by winning a bit more of the ball, I think is key. They didn't have enough of it in the first half. They really felt the pressure of Olympia, forced into turnovers, but it's pretty obvious that they're going to need a fair bit more of the ball to create some chances, because they need 3 goals at least. They probably in the entire first half created maybe 3 good goal scoring chances. So you're probably going to want to see them pushing on, getting a bit more of the ball. Obviously, the big risk there is as they push on and chase goals, you've got very dangerous players from Olympia who are going to be able to catch them out. And we've seen it is a bit of a mismatch. The defenders need help from the midfield because they're really being troubled by the wide men. I mean, Isles really hasn't done a lot today, and we know the talent he has. So if he just gets a bit more space, a bit more opportunity, there could be trouble. But we'll see if they've made any personnel changes, Devonport. They're probably going to want to switch things around a little bit. They've not offered enough in this first 45, but we might get the expert on the matters to ask what Devonport can do in the second half here. He's just popped back in over our marquee. Nico, what can Devonport do?
So he's talking to the old man. He hasn't. He's a Juventus old boy. He used to play for Juventus back in the 60s and 70s, and he's still sooking about last week, I think, when we knocked him off. I don't know what you guys have been saying, but Devonport are really got to go gung-ho here for the next 10 minutes, see if they can pull a goal back and then get themselves back in the game. If they have a good hard crack for 10 minutes and they're not getting anywhere, maybe get some of those young fellas off the bench and out into it. They've got a couple of 16-year-olds, I think, on the bench. Jesse Dance, the brother of Tango, so his nickname's Cash, so I'm looking forward to when old Cash comes on. And the prophecy, Matt Jordan, can go right off the bench as well, so it'd be interesting to see if they just sort of back off and let Olympia play around like they did in the first half. Then we're going to have a pretty easy win for Olympia. The first 10 minutes will tell the tale.
The prophecy, how is that for a nickname? I do hope we get to see a bit of the prophecy out there, because that is one we can get around. We do like a nickname here in the box here. A couple out there with him. Good Friday Wooly one that comes to mind. It doesn't take much for a nickname to stick in our minds and then just be referred to ceaselessly as that, rather than their actual name from then on. As a near moment here early on is dealt with by the keeper. But good early start here from Devonport. And they look to push on. As Nico said, they certainly need to strike early if they're any chance in this game. Now it's thumped out of there by Hickey, up to the head of Sakiris, flicked on, but numbers with the strikers. Fancy little back heel from Hoy. Sorry, it was Hickey rather. Hoy now on the ball, but he's been dispossessed by Blizzard. He then is dispossessed in turn by Mearns, and that midfield trio went out. And they'll go all the way back to the keeper. And he'll just launch it long, looking for Isles. Subdued so far, but he's done enough. That's a lovely ball. Sakiris gets on the end of this. Could be his hat-trick. He goes near post, and the keeper smartly down. That was a searching ball that picked him out though, and very close to being 4-0 to the Warriors early on in the second half.
Sakiris probably wished he did better with that one. Maybe across the goalkeeper next time. He went the near post and pierced pretty strong. That near post saved it, but strong signs nonetheless for Olympia. As Paradisus wraps this one up. That's it for us. It's a bouncing ball that finds Hoy in midfield. He's collected. And the ball goes Devonport's way. I think eventually it's pulled up. And it'll be a foul. Or maybe an offside potentially against Devonport. And Paradisus will take a free kick outside his area. He pumps it long and strong. Maskell picks it up. Stinks along, finds Dennehy. He gets by Takatsu. Now they run and race down that right-hand side. He beats Takatsu again, if once wasn't enough. Steadies to cross it. Finds Holden inside the box. Does well to get round one. Looks to shoot. And in the end, it's dealt with by Vandermeer, I believe. Ping-pongs a attempted clearance out for a corner. Out on the left, Adam Gorry goes to take.
So a bright start from Devonport. And look what happens when they take the short corner. I keep harping on about this, but they're not listening to me clearly, Damien. I'm not sure what they would. They don't even know who I am, but still, once again, the short corner produces nothing. I think there's a time and a place for them. I could see the theory behind it in this one. No real tall timber to challenge the centre half, but it's not worked for them today. Is coming forward here, Sakiris on the end of this. Got a couple for company though, so he just backs it off for Zawu, and he just groups it straight out of play, somewhat strangely. So Devonport giving a reprieve there. Just knock it around the back here. They do. He's searching for options, nothing really presenting, so in the end he's forced to just thump it long and show too much of it in the end. They're able to walk away with that, and now Wadawa's released into some space down the right. He pick a man out. It's a good ball just over the top. Isles wraps his foot around it and finds side netting only. Well, not sure how tight the angle was, but a poor effort in the end from Isles. It was a teasing cross from Wadawu. Floated above the keeper Pearce, and Isles here is in very tight. Just can't quite wrap his foot around it. And in the end, danger avoided for the strikers. It's the goal kick. He's flicked on by Maskell, but straight out of play. Boy, he's physically worked off it. Might get a second chance here. It's Katsu directly in front of us down here. Launches the throw. Isles. First touch just a bit heavy. And Devonport are able to escape, but only as far as Mearns. And here's Blizzard. His pass. Makes Holden work for it, just keeps it in play. Olympia with plenty of numbers, as Damien pointed out. They're quick to get numbers across that right hand side. Here's Blizzard, scything through them, still going. Might get a chance to flick the header on, and he's put it wide. And no penalty. The keeper did seem to collect him there, and follow through. Might have a look at the replay there. It was perseverance really from Blizzard. Just kept going. The ball sits up, and he was the first to get to it. He launches the header, and the keeper's just come straight through him afterwards. I tell you what, he's cleaned him up there. Got nowhere near the ball. Shouts for a penalty for your boys there, Nico?
Yeah, it didn't look much. I was probably looking at where the ball was going off his head, but the one-man gang just came out, and that's what you get for having a man bun, maybe, Jimmy Hordle says. He was watching the Development League game when I pointed out a man bun, and I said, "Did you think that looked good, Bo?" And he said, "No, I don't like that one." And well, that's what his head looks like. So the one-man gang in goal just took him out. And that's, yeah, good on him. Probably should have done better with the header. Maybe he heard those footsteps of the big fella. That was their chance, though, to get back in the game. You know, one goal can do weird things to defenders, and that 2-goal deficit is always the troublesome one, they say. As Blizzard, a few of the Devonport players have made their way off the ground and come back on, so he's probably going to be the third once he gets all his faculties back about him. As Vandermeer plays a beautiful ball forward to Woolley. Woolley's going to cut in and have a shot, surely, and it's going to be 4-0 to the Olympia Warriors. Lovely ball by Vandermeer, and Woolley just summed up the situation perfectly and pops it in the back of the net for number 4. What could have been 3-1 straight down the other end, and we've got 4-0 and game over.
Far too easy as we watch this one again. It was very nicely taken from Woolley. He streamed down that right-hand side, entered the box and finished off into the bottom left. Very, very nice bit of work there from the full-back. And that's the danger of Olympia. Not only are they dangerous with their front three, their full-backs can also make you pay. And there's an example. And as Nico said, Devonport, it could have been oh so much better for them if they had taken their chances early on in this second half, as Sekiris robs the ball off Sison. It's a foul against Hoy, I believe. He's far from happy with it. In the end, it's only a foul, so it's not going to hurt Olympia too much. The big Canadian was far from pleased, and Tom Pearce looks likely to take this one outside his box. He's copped 4, but he hasn't been too bad at all, really. Pretty much everyone he's had a chance to save, he has. As he almost falcons Maskell with his long ball. Isles robs it of him. Looks inside. Got Banfield for company. Plays for Sekiris. Isles is brought down after the event. It'll be a free kick from Olympia in a dangerous spot. I'm not sure if any of them have much chance outside of Nick Mearns. This looks like Nick Mearns territory for me, but we'll wait and see. As we watch the replay, Isles got the pass off, but he was clipped just as he went to do it. Went down, so it's Mearns and Sekiris over it. I reckon Sekiris might just jog on here and Mearns will look to wrap his boot around this and try and pop it in the corner. A wall of 4 just inside the 18-yard area. Nick Mearns steps up to the plate, fires, it's a shocker, it's back off the wall, still alive for Olympia. Mearns slips one through, looking for the run of Hoy, keeps alive on the byline. In the end, he forces a corner, and it'll be a corner from the left for the Warriors. Maskell forcing it out in the finish, or Banfield rather. But not exactly the free kick we've come to see from Nick Mearns. We've seen a couple this year where he's just wrapped the boot around it and sunk it into the top right or top left, but not on that occasion as he takes the corner this time. It's punch clear with a double fister from Tom Pearce. Entered back in through with Darwin. Comes to Sekiris and he finishes off with a spin, but he's offside. And Devonport will escape and look to regroup with a goal kick.
Yes, Sekiris denied the hat-trick there by the linesman. And we've got full time over down at the Den. 2-1 to Northern Rangers. A bit of an upset there, reversing the picture they played recently. It's a thrilling cup match, but good win there for the Rangers. Kingborough, perhaps the cup specialists. It's an interesting victory league season this year. Tough one to predict. Olympia charging down the right again, and again it's Wadawu getting behind. He's been great today. This time his cross is well cut out by Chilcott though. Any time those defenders have left space in behind, it's been the likes of Wadawu getting there. So Olympia will throw in 4-0 the score. They've dished out a few thumpings this year. Could be another one as the keeper was out commandingly and takes that one. Needs to get it moving quickly here. Didn't really have anything on offer though, so he just thumps it long, and that's cut out by Mearns. So disappointing from a Devonport perspective there as Holmes read that one, jumped up into the play and looked to release Wadawu, but his ball was far too central. Wadawu got a foot in there. Now Isles will wait for support from Mearns. Numbers building to Katsu in there, overlapping, and that was the attempted back heel to him, but it didn't come off at all. And a foul from Takatsu will relieve the pressure. A free kick. Once again, turning the ball over and really feeling the pressure. Olympia could well have a 5th goal before too long. Going forward, immediately repelled. And just trying to flick the ball out to his fullback there, Maskell, but a bit too heavy. Floats out of play, another throw-in for Olympia. They're starting to mount up. It's Katsu. And there must be something about this side of the ground, because first half she was all coming down in front of us down the right wing for Olympia. Now it's the left wing, but they're playing down this side all the same. We've had a good view of it, but they've certainly played down one side of the ground more than the other. It's dangerous ball, really. Could go to anyone. Mearns is the first to get there, but numbers will win out for Devonport. Can they break now? They do. It's a good ball. Down the right here is Donaghy. What can he do? He skips around Holmes, but used his body well, the big fella. Experienced campaigner Holmes, and he dealt with that well. Can't get in behind him. Very solid unit. He's not put a foot wrong today. He's a big captain. And I think that's been a big part of Olympia's success. Stability at the back. Vandermeer and Holmes, really good central pairing. A lot of continuity about the starting 11. A lot of players have got their spot in the 11. Very much secured. They've made it their own. And I think that really helps. Being able to keep the same 11 out there on the park. There's obviously a few tweaks every now and then. But that's a good save. Cross was played into a dangerous area in Devonport. Still buzzing about dangerously, but unable to create anything. And Wadawu hacked out of there. The centre back, only as far as Blizzard. They might get another chance. They do. Down the left, what can they do here, Devonport? Can they find a goal? He's into the area. It's repelled by Mearns, who's tracking back. We see Hoy back as well. They've got to be careful there. Cross is blocked. Holden working hard, and eventually the danger is cleared. A good spell of pressure from Devonport, but unable to conjure anything there, Nico.
Yeah, I think the difference between the sides was just shown there. Olympia a little bit sharper in their front third, and Devonport seemed to sort of go nowhere fast when they're up there. So might need to be those forward combinations between the forwards and the midfield might need to be worked on a little bit of training. Mind you, they've been working on it every Thursday night I've seen them, so maybe it's just not clicking at the moment. As the one-man gang just sizes up the ball. Syson's going to win the header. As his man's back to Syson. Getting themselves in trouble here, Devonport. Dom Smith. Short to Uluru. And they've coughed it up to Woolley. I'm not sure who it went into, but it's gone back to Hickey. Looks to deliver. Not a bad effort. Banfield doesn't really deal with it too well. Straight up in the air. The ball falls to Hoy. And Hoy's shot goes harmlessly wide. No, it's taken a deflection. We've got a corner.
Corner from the left. It'll be Isles to whip this one in. It'll be a pretty sorry bus trip back up the highway. It'll be a heck of a lot to take out of this one for Devonport. Just repeating the news if you missed it a little bit earlier. Kingborough Lions have gone down to Northern Rangers at Lightwood Park, so a big win for the Rangers and maybe one to resurrect their season. Could put them into the 4 of all things, and before last week they were at last. So it just shows how tight the Victory League is this year. As Hickey intercepts, gets going. It's left for him by Sekiris. He collides with a defender and it's out of play and out for a throw-in. On the far side, Warren Madawu, who was one of the stars of the first half. I'm going to say the Fizz just about taken out of this contest. Thrown in. Devonport get it out through Gorry. Mulroney turns with it. Blocked down by Takatsu. Puts it the other way with a decent strike ball. Down the left. And it's watched over by Smith. Or is it Maskell? Sorry. It looks like it might be time for a change. It's Olympia who might make the first one. Looks like Nick Meredith will come on for the dangerous Warren Wadawa, and the change for Devonport looks like Dom Smith's off. And on comes Zach Mitchell. So they're the two changes there. Zach Mitchell on and Nick Meredith on. The lettuce farmer injected into this contest. See whether he can deliver some of his crispiest work. Coming off for Warren Wadawa, who very much did his role. He set up the game, him and Hoy. Their combination down this right-hand flank in the opening half pretty well put this ball game right in the driver's seat for Olympia as Devonport play it around in their defensive half. In the end, it looked pretty nervy, but they did okay. Mulroney loses in the air for Vandermeer. He loses. Gorry and Mearns collide, and in the end, Mearns has left a fair bit in that one for Gorry. They had a battle in midfield, and it looked like there was a bit in that. A free kick for Devonport. Maskell delivers long into the sun. It's won by Hoy. He slips a ball through, but it's cut off by Banfield. Big Bambi Banfield. Switches out to the right. Finds Dennehy. Just slips in a delicate little ball looking for Gorry. He picks it up. On the byline, he'll look to get across in, but it's cut off by Vandermeer, who nipped across to see it out for a throw-in. So Dennehy will likely toss this one in, or he actually calls Maskell to get involved with the Kung Fu Panda. Try and unleash something from here. He goes a very short throw, fairly underwhelming in the end. Blizzard gives back to him. He puts it in to the danger zone, and it's off the head of Mulroney and picked up by Paradisus, who clears with a big boot.
So yeah, the Fizz just starting to go out of this one a little bit. The result beyond doubt. Might see the managers look to their benches again. Give the youngsters a bit of a run out. Olympia firmly in control at home and building something of a fortress down here at Warrior Park, you'd have to say, on the sunny eastern shore. So push forward again, looking for the fifth, and less than convincing there from the keeper. Oh, that's a poor pass. Intercepting was Mearns, but he's immediately corralled by a couple of defenders who did well. He was shaping to shoot on that right foot of his. Obviously, done the scouting report. You don't want to give him space outside the box. Nick Mearns, the form he's in, was well shut down. Can Devonport conjure something? They're going long down the right-hand side again. Good cross deep to Blizzard. And that's a cracking hit. How was that from Holden? He was the best player on the park all day for Devonport. It's a fierce strike and beautifully saved in the end. Look at that contact of that with his left foot and the keeper. He's had a pretty good game, you'd have to say, for Olympia, coming in and filling the shoes very nicely. He's the number 2. And they've got themselves a corner here, Devonport. A very good hit, that one from Holden. Curls one in. And look at the danger it's causing. The direct ball in the box, and oh dear, Blizzard just rolled harmlessly off his boot in the end. If he could have got some elevation on that, that would have been a goal. Good chance, but scrambling around in the box. If you have a look at the replay, she's bowling around in there for a while. There's chance one, couldn't get it, and his first touch set it up, couldn't finish it off. Meanwhile, back to the action, penalty. So here's a chance here for Devonport to get one back. And it's going to be Blizz, I think, from the spot as we have a look at the replay. And yeah, that was just quite awkward. Bodies flying everywhere, and the referee Halter with no hesitation to point to the spot.
According to Nick Owen, very reliable source, telling us that that the Bomber Jacket, Bo Blizzard, always goes left. Tell you what, Michael Holden, though, he was caught an Olympia sandwich in that one. Brought down. Looked a pretty clear-cut penalty from mine. It was contested by Olympia, but Devonport goes to the spot regardless. And here we go, Bo Blizzard. He goes right this time just to make Nico look like an absolute clown, and it's finished off to great effect. Maybe that's the fire starter for Devonport.
That's a tedious call of a fire starter, Damien. It's a bit of a stretch, but a consolation marker, I'll give it. That's a great, you can't hit a penalty much better than that. Just about shaving a coat of paint off the post there. Beautifully placed from Blizzard. And a consolation goal for your boys there, Nico.
Oh, they're back in it. Devonport are back in it, the Banana Slugs. You wait. They've got 3 goals in them. I'll just mark my words. Just like mark my words, he was going to go left. As Luke Isles skips past a few, he's still got control of the ball. And, I think that's just shaved the post. Luke Isles just trying to make the deficit 4 goals again, but can't do it. Yeah, Bo always says he went left. That's what he said on the bus. Always go left. Don't tell the keepers I never go any other way. And he goes the other way. Big one-man gang goal, picked the right way, but he just maybe wasn't agile enough to get a hand on it. As Takatsu picks up the ball for the throw-in. Oh, we've got Toy, sorry. Looked an unfamiliar face on. Takatsu looks to deliver. It's cut out by Zach Mitchell. Gives the ball straight to Mearns. Sakiris will be hunting his hat-trick, surely. Gorry comes forward. He's found Michael Holden, who's going to skip past Woolley. He's going to have a shot here. And that's 2 now. 2. We've got another goal. I told you, boys. I told you we're back in it.
Far too excited. I did call the fire starter and you laughed at me. But here come Devonport. 68th minute. Nico has just lost the plot. He thought it was 2-0. Don't know whether you just arrived, Nico. It's 4-2. But Devonport back in this one. It's 68th minute. Plenty of time on their side. Well put out on the left-hand side, and just very, very nice finish by Michael Holden. He's been the player for Devonport the whole afternoon. He's been very tightly marked, but he's still found a way, and he definitely found a way for Devonport then. They're in the ball game all of a sudden. 4-2. It's not over.
Yeah, I might be eating my words. I'm not quite going to start eating them just yet. If they get the 3rd, all right, fair enough. You're right. For now, 4-2, still fairly comfortable. I'm not buying into this 2 goals is the most dangerous lead in football nonsense. However, just starting to unravel a little bit out there, Olympia. Devonport with their best spell of the game. They've got a couple of goals and they've got a set piece here. They could find a third here. There are still 22 minutes left, so plenty of time. Olympia might not want to be taking the foot off the pedal just yet. The job is not done. It's a dangerous ball flicked in and Blizzard got his foot to it. Didn't create anything, but this is better from Devonport. Where was this earlier is the question that might need to be asked. But they've shown some good signs here in the second half. They've fought back. And how was the ball from Gorry to set up that Holden goal? It was a barnstorming run and a classy finish from him. He's been the best player today, Holden, no doubt for them. And a great ball from Gorry to release him. And not for the first time today. The Olympia back four were just caught a bit upfield, but they might hit back immediately here. They tried Woolley getting forward again and putting the cross in, but he was offside. But just saying, there have been a few times today, Olympia have crept forward a bit, and the pace that Devonport has, they've got him behind. All their best chances have come from similar storming efforts. There hasn't been a lot of passing build-up. It's been very much direct, releasing a runner in all their chances. 4-2. I can pull back a third. You never know, as the man next to me is often fond of saying. Still a long way back at this stage, though. Playing better Devonport. They push forward again here. A little more confident out there. As I say that, of course, they turn the ball over. Olympia, just a bit of a scare so far. Has it kicked them back into life? Securis, he's still hunting a hat-trick. Holds the ball up nicely here. The lettuce farmer. No, you do. Not a lot. Turns it over. One of the better nicknames going around that one, I reckon.
Oh, it's the best. And Mark, we go Wakefield. Thanks for that. It slipped through. Dennehy onside. Gets by the keeper, but Vandermeer's there to help out. Oh, it comes in. Holden almost gets it over the line. Confusion reigns supreme. What's going on here at Warrior Park? The game was over a second ago. Mulroney puts it through. Dennehy onside. Does well to get by Paradisus, but a little bit too much pepper on the touch. Vandermeer cuts it off, or so he thinks. Holden comes in, almost gets it in. Vandermeer does well in the end just to make sure it doesn't creep over the line. And it's out of play for a goal kick. But I tell you what, exciting stuff here at Warrior Park. As Blizzard collides with it, finds Sison, is back with Blizzard. He's got, almost looks to slip through to Mulroney. It comes out on the far side, Holden on the ball. No one can stop him at the moment. Rails off a shot. It's blocked. It's back now for the lettuce farmer. It's blocked by Blizzard. Unfortunately, he runs it out of play. Michael Holden, just electrifying for Devonport. He's often been the lone hand this afternoon, but a couple are starting to come to the fold with a bit of belief late into this clash. There's still plenty of time, Andrew Cooling. And as I always say, you just never know in this game of football. Football is a funny game as it's picked up by Securis. He has no idea where to go. In the end, finds his skipper. Plays it forward. It's an interesting challenge where it looked like maybe Mitchell was collected, but play goes on. Uluru Chilcott tries to keep it in. It's out of play and out for a throw-in. Or is it? As Hordle consults his assistant. Looks like there was some underboard contact down the left as the lettuce farmer's down for the count. And we see Hordle right off screen just having a bit of a chat to his assistant. And it looks like there'll be a free kick for the Warriors further upfield.
Yeah, just a bit of life, a bit of belief about these Devonport players suddenly. They're playing with a bit of jump out there that we didn't really see always in the first half. Goals do breed confidence, but they've got to repel this attack, and they do. Just about. Hickey will put it back in there, but that was a soft touch released to Isles. Here's Securis. He needed to play the return ball to Isles. He didn't. He switched to the right to the lettuce farmer. And there goes the fight back. It was always the danger. Olympia always had more goals in them. And the lettuce farmer comes off the bench. Buries it. I thought for a moment there Securis had picked the wrong option. He should have played Isles back in. But he's done well in the end. He saw Meredith in space in the box out on the right there, and he's placed that ball perfectly in the right-hand corner of the goal. 5-2 And that'd just about kill the comeback, wouldn't it, Nico?
No, we've still got time. We've still got time, but that was a lovely finish by the lettuce farmer. That's how everyone should be finishing them. Michael Holden, if he did that up the other end, it'd be a 1-goal deficit, but now Meredith has done the job for Olympia, and it could be the second time I say it, but game over. I'm going game over this time. My fight backs off as Brody Dennehy collects the long ball, and he has... Well, boys, what's going on? We've got another goal. It's the 8th goal of the game, and we've got our 2-goal deficit back again. I'm just going to keep calling game over, because every time I do, Devonport seem to get themselves back in the game. It is not over. Not over at all.
Well, Davies bent over sideways laughing here, and why not? This is a crazy game. Long and strong, just thumped it up the middle. First time. What a crack effort that was. Bounced off the bar, but following up was Holden. 5-3. This game is not perhaps quite over. You'd say it's unlikely, but let's write anything off yet because the goals just keep flowing here.
Yeah, Turtle Holden, nice little finish, but Dennehy, what a chip on the right boot. Beautiful stuff, and Holden yet again skips by one. If he can keep getting on the ball, Devonport half a sniff here as Gorry puts it out wide. Finds Maskell, who's bombed on from full back. Rattles off across, and it's deflected out off your Katsu and out for a corner. The thing about this current position in the ball game, Drewster, is 75th minute. So I know there's been 8 goals, so you probably think it's we're almost in added time, but there's still time. If Devonport can just thread the needle in the final third and finish things off, you just never know. And you've got to give them kudos anyway for this second half fight back. Looks like a substitution for Devonport. Jesse Dance and Woody Mulroney. The Chook Mulroney, off he goes, and on comes Jesse Dance. He's a young pup, isn't he? He's 16 years of age. Yeah, geez, he doesn't look 16. I reckon he probably does all right out in the circuit in Devonport. As it's whipped in, long and strong over everyone's head. And it bounces out of play. So it'll be a goal kick for the Warriors, and they breathe a sigh of relief. Ash, the cameraman, just says, slow down, boys, because all the goals and all the franticness has just caught him off guard. But they play it short. Brody Dennehy pressures well. In the end, he's forced a corner just about. Does enough, does Holmes, to get it out, and Sison traps down. Hickey, Cannon's clear, and it's out for a throw-in down the right-hand channel. And Devonport, I think they smell blood somehow. It's 5-3. You'd think the game is still well and truly in Olympia's control, but there's just that air over the place here at Warrior Park. As it comes through midfield, Hoy drops off for Meredith. Gorry does well to take it off the boot of Hickey. It's now a foot race between Gorry and Woolley, and Gorry does really well to make it a contest and forces Woolley to put it straight out of play and out for a throw-in.
Still 2 goals down, making all the running at the moment, Devonport. This vocal Warrior Park crowd has gone somewhat quiet, a bit of nervousness around about here. They're just hoping to see out these final 15 minutes if they can withstand the siege. And full credit to Devonport, this game at 4-0 looked like it was just going to trickle out into nothingness really. The sting was out of the game, but they've stuck at it, they've fought hard, and they've found a few goals. 5-3. 77 minutes gone here. They've played well, Devonport. Stuck at it. Olympia looked so in control of the match for so long. It just looked a little bit panicky in the last 10 minutes or so. Just a few moments where players you'd expect to make basic passes have just thumped it out of there or made the wrong decision. You know, still a little bit of pressure, but still that 2-goal buffer. I think they'll be all right. Unless Devonport can get a 4th one, then we'll really feel it. Katsu sees the ball deflect out of play, and he'll race over and grab the throws. We've got another substitution by the looks of things. Stuart Page. Man, who's coming off for him? It looks like Woolley maybe coming off. Yeah, it's going to be Good Friday Woolley who is subbed out. So a change at the back. Perhaps just looking to shore things up there is Glenn McNeil. I'll tell you what, with the sun dropping here, you can notice the change in temperature. It has gone from a beautiful, glorious warm day to freezing cold. You can certainly notice the difference. Front this one up the line, looking for Isles, who's pretty well shackled today, you'd have to say. Maskell, who's played right back, he'd be pretty happy. Not an easy man to keep quiet, Isles, and he's offside here. And that'll get called back. So 10 minutes to go. We still got the comeback here.
Yeah, we do, but I'd like to, if I was had my Olympia hat on, I'd like to see him park the bus for probably 5 minutes and shut the game out. It doesn't seem to have done that just as yet. As Pearce plays it short to Panda. Playing it around nicely here. Banfield might want to get it into the box from there. He has done. It's taken a deflection. Cash takes a touch, but there's nothing money about that touch. As they come forward, Isles has beaten the offside trap. He's got Sekiris coming into the back post. He's going to cut in and maybe finish it himself. No, he's looked for Sekiris. It's taken a deflection off Gorry, and Devonport have the chance to counter-attack again here through Banfield, if he doesn't let it run out, that is. Isles works back well to deflect it out. Well, it certainly got exciting, as I might even get a touch here. No. Cameraman has, though. Camera lady. There's a correction on the subs. Griffith came on. Who came off for him? Woolley. Banfield looks to pump it long again to Cash. Cash is certainly up against it in between Vandermeer and Holmes. As Sekiris beats the offside trap, but the ball's gone through to Pearce. Pearce needs to get it moving quickly. As all of a sudden the young boys on the bank are starting to give Pearce a bit of a razz up, trying to help their team, or will their team, to keep their 2-goal lead and perhaps advance on that. As Mans looks wide to Katsu, comes off Holden's head, and it's going to be Olympia throwing, yes. Yeah, if Olympia can keep it up there for a couple of minutes, it'll definitely shut out the game. It's been a great fight back by Devonport. Not going to be quite enough, I don't think, as Hoy keeps it down there in the bottom corner to Katsu. Plays it into the lettuce farmer, who delivers it to Sekiris. And he's lobbed a header. It's beaten Pearce, but it's also gone over the top of the bar. Need to really push hard forward, Devonport, now, if they're going to get anything out of it. Cash up against Holmes, definite mismatch. Mitchell picks up the ball, pumps it along to Holmes again. That's not going to be the avenue to find a couple more goals, I don't think. They'd be better off finding those wingers again that have looked, especially Michael Holden, who's looked dangerous as the lettuce farmer is dispossessed by Mitchell. Might have deflected out for a goal kick. It's been given a goal kick despite the shouts from the crowd.
Actually getting up just to try and warm myself up, Nico, but thanks for the mic. As Pearce looks to bring it back in. Pumps it long and strong down the left. He picks out Holden, the real danger man. Probably man of the match, I've got to say, up until this point. He's been superb. It looks like the prophecy. Matt Jordan might be coming on. What does the prophecy have in store today? Dennehy comes off, and on strolls the prophecy. Loud wheels to boot. Hopefully he has some loud moves for Devonport. He throws down the line. It's won by the Warriors. Not for long though. Mitchell gets a touch in. Through it goes to Gorry, who turns it out. Mitchell plays Chilcott. Off the ball down the left. Takatsu comes across. Keeps it in the finish. And then plays it out of play just beyond halfway. Mitchell with a throw in. Finds Holden. It's off his chest. Mitchell picks it up and looks to run down the left and runs out of pitch. plays it out for another Warriors throw. It looks like there might just not be enough time for Devonport. But you've got to say they've huffed and they've puffed in this second half. They've looked dead and buried more than twice, but certainly twice in this second half. You thought, oh, here they come. And they gave plenty. Just when the fight back looked dead, it was on again. Holden's certainly been superb for the visitors as the lettuce farmer picks it up. He goes down, maybe a little bit too soft from the lettuce farmer. A little bit more crunch in his lettuce. Gorry robs Hickey of it in midfield. Maybe a little lacklustre. His touch lets him down. He collides with Griffiths and it'll be a free kick for Olympia, and they can just steady the ship here in midfield. Got to say the Olympia midfield's maybe just gone out of it a touch in this second half. I think Gorry's definitely worked into the game more. I think Hickey has looked a little cooked. He's spent his petrol tickets at this point in time. I definitely think Hoy has faded out of things. He looked very bright in the opening half, but maybe that's some good work from Devonport in terms of negating Hoy, because he hasn't been able to have the influence he had in that first half and really set things up for the Warriors. Plays halted for a moment. It'll be a Takatsu throw in though in the finish. Down the line, off the head of the lettuce farmer. They collide for it. In the end, it's a free kick against Gorry. I don't think there was plenty in that. I mean, they were flailing legs on both sides of the equation, but in the end, Olympia come up trumps with a free kick. And this spells danger for Devonport, that's for sure. Could be the sealer on its way.
Yeah, they've just shut this game down the last 5 minutes or so, Olympia. Slinging it out very professionally. It's been a good fight back from Devonport. We've still got 5 minutes. Maybe conjure a counter-attack here, but Olympia looking like they're going to get the job done. They've made hard work of it after leading 4-0, it has to be said. Here's Hoy. A bit of mischief going on in the box there, where Holmes has got a clear height advantage. He's towering above them, and that is quite wasteful, really, from Hoy. He said his influence has certainly waned as the match has gone on. A very bright start. Quite the same influence in the second half. When the game was to be won, he was on fire.
It was quite an interesting match up there between Banfield Baggins and old Treebeard from Olympia. A very big height difference. There's Pearce. They're not going to get goals doing it. Here, Chilcott knows what to do. If only someone was on the same page. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if young Jordan and Dance have got it in them to actually fight their way in to sneak a goal. I'm pretty sure even if they did get that next goal, it's only going to be a consolation with only 3.5 minutes of normal time left, and there's probably going to be maybe 2 or 3 minutes of injury time. So Mitchell sends the ball forward. Cash plays it to Gorry, who can't skip past Hickey. Blizzard out wide, looks to deliver to Cash Dance. He's got the ball in the box, he looks to deliver it. There wasn't really anyone on. They've got the throw in. As Blizzard, Mitchell will do well to send the ball back into the box. Plays it to Sison. And it's gone back. Could have been offside. I'm not sure the linesman was totally on the job there. Anyway, it's rolled out for a throw-in. Chilcott throws it to Maskill. He will look long. Ball's not going to reach Jordan. It's cut out. Michael Holden picks up the ball. Jesse Dance turns. Scored one there from at training. Didn't fire it off this time. Olympia throwing. The Prophecy thought it was his. Flicked on by Hoy. Won by Isles, but it only goes as far as Maskill, who looks to skip through a few midfielders. It's cut out well by Hickey. Isles picks up the ball. Could be offside, will be offside if he goes anywhere near it. I'll tell you what. I don't know too much Greek, but there's probably a few words that are coming across that I don't want to understand.
Probably not suitable for this broadcast. Fair to say, the happiest with that decision there. Anyway, last roll of the dice here. Are they going to find a fourth and have a late? Well, Holden looked to be fouled, but the referee says play on. Securis missing that one. He's desperately looking, just hanging on the last line. He knows he's got a good chance at a hat-trick here. If he can just sit back on halfway and wait for the opposition to throw bodies forward. Good striker's mentality, I like it. I also like the look of this young fella, the Prophecy, wearing flashy red boots and dubbing himself the Prophecy. I like the cut of your jibe, son. I think we can expect big things there in the future. So here we go. Devonport looking to find something. Slauson turned back and they'll just thump it long again. Here he is. What can the young fella do? He cuts inside and loses it. Okay. We might get another chance. It's out to the right and Takatsu. Want a good ball in the air. It's back to the walls here. And he pick out a moment. It's a dangerous ball there from Holden. They had some fizz on it. He had men in the box. Another corner as we tick into the 90th minute of this one. If they are going to salvage a point, they'd have to score here. You think Holden, it's near post and it's hacked out of there and cleared by Takatsu. So, just about reached the end of regulation here. It's been a brave fight back from Devonport. They've won the second half. They're down 3-0. They won that 3-2 and they're down 4-0, so it's been good to see them not capitulate like a lot of sides we've seen this year when a bunch of goals have gone through. I've just seen their heads drop and it continue, but they've fought back. They've given Olympia plenty to think about, and I think going forward to next week they can take positives from this second half.
Yeah, they certainly can. It's not an easy task next week for Devonport. I think they're back down to the Lions' Den. And then the week after they're playing South Hobart at Darcy Street, I think. So it's 3 long bus trips in a row. So they're only really a sixth of the way through their travel over the next few weeks. There's a long throw in from Banfield, goes as far as Vandermeer. Hickey plays a lovely little ball. Goes to Securis, back to Hoy. And that is, it was offside previously to Securis, when Hickey tried to play it into Hoy and it went past him and Securis had come from an offside position. As Maskill finds the lettuce farmer, who gets a slight touch. Referee sees it. Mitchell picks up the ball. Looking to be a little bit fancy with it. As time ticks over to 1 minute into injury time. Olympia never in any real danger of losing the match. They've always had at least that 2-goal deficit, which is very, very dangerous, might add, but they seem to have managed it fairly well. Glenn McNeil won't be happy with that amount of goals going in, but they've just consolidated themselves at the top of the table, and certainly got a team that will challenge for the title. Hoy did look very good in the first half. He's, like I said earlier, he's faded out a little bit, but certainly without those couple of defensive lapses, they should be fine. As the game is petering out into a keeping Devonport interested with a 2-goal margin, but it's. They've had the chances to get close, but they just didn't put the important ones away. And it's another long bus trip back to Devonport. As Securis comes through here, Hoy, he's got all the time in the world. He can pick out anyone in the box, and he's picked out Pierce in the Devonport goal. Rolls it forward to Blizzard. Got numbers forward, Devonport. Finds Michael, or doesn't find Michael Holden. Drifts past to Katsu. Well, Gorry went strong there on the lettuce farmer. He's going strong again, and Holmes gives him some of his own medicine as Manns clears the ball. Happy to see it go as far away as possible at this point, as some of the crowd are starting just to point out that maybe it's full time, and Jimmy Hall blows his whistle, and a very sound performance by Olympia to take this one out.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be all one-way traffic this afternoon. It certainly looked that way at the half, but you've got to give credit to Devonport. They came out here and gave it a real red-hot shake in the second half. The only questions that would be asked on the bench for Devonport is where was that in the first half, because it could have been a really different ball game if they had brought that intensity in the first half. But the deserved 3 points for Olympia. They keep going from strength to strength at the top of the table, but Devonport will take plenty out of that. I think they'll slip out of the top four, but I tell you what, on that second half performance, they won't be far off it when the whips are cracking. Michael Holden, superb. For me, man of the match. Drewster, your post-game thoughts?
Yeah, look, when the game was there to be won, Olympia were clearly the better team. A good fight back from Devonport, one they can take heart from, but the first half now, when the game was there to be decided on one, Olympia were a cut above. They were the better side, and a deserved victory from today. You know, they let their guard down. They probably thought the job was done at 4-0, and they were wrong. We saw Devonport willing to fight this game out, and that'll be pleasing, but I think McNeil, they'll be disappointed with the defensive lapses, but his first 45 minutes he can be very happy with. Even the first, I suppose, 50 minutes, they came out after half-time, got that fourth goal, which pretty much sealed it, and they'll be happy. The attacking quartet, really, of Sakiris, Wadawu, Isles and Hoy, they clicked, and they're going to be hard for anyone to stop. And we've got a certain Neymar just sitting on the bench, didn't even get a run out today. Just shows the depth they've amassed here at Olympia. Devonport, yeah, look, they showed some good signs. They can build from this. A couple of road trips in the next couple of weeks, as Nico has pointed out, and they can build on this second half. And if that's what this Devonport side is, that second 45 and not the first 45, they will be there fighting for a spot in the quarterfinals. So some positives to take away, but Olympia win the day, and they just keep marching on to the top of the table here, and they're going to be tough to knock off their perch, I think.
Certainly looming that way. Thanks for joining us here at Warrior Park. A good afternoon for the Olympia FC Warriors. We'll leave you now with some highlights from the clash. A good win from them, 5-3 in the finish. They led 3-0 at half-time. Devonport came home strong, but just couldn't get the Warriors, who held on in the finish. A very interesting tussle, and we hope you enjoyed it here on sliceofcheese.net. That's all from us. Bye for now from Warrior Park.